Welcome back. Today we are doing a new segment called Reddit. We read the Reddit posts and react to it. We judge hardcore. Alright, first one. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for always hosting child-free events? Right off the bat, no. Without reading, no. If you don't have children, your friends have children, they can throw their own events. So I, female, mid-20s, love hosting events like a Halloween party, Valentine's Day, cool, Friendsgiving, game nights, etc. I usually like to keep things small, only inviting close friends or relatives, mine or my partner's. I have very few house rules, but the one big one is that all events are child-free. These events include themed food and decorations, drinking games, smoking flower, so a very much adult party. I even have air mattresses and a pull-out couch for guests who can't drive home. So immediately I'm thinking you don't have children, or if you do, you just prefer to have adult parties, which is fine. I think we should be like adult-friendly places. I think we should be able to have events without kids, especially in public. Sorry, not sorry. People do not watch their kids anymore. We need kid-free zones, other than a bar. All right, I'll keep reading. The problem being, most of my friends/family do not have kids and want to stay that way, while my partner's side is the opposite. We are planning a New Year's party, and my partner's family is complaining that they can't go because of their kids. Mind you, both sets of grandparents can babysit for each of his siblings' kids. It's a New Year's party. Generally not a family event unless it's a big family, but it sounds like only one side of the couple has kids, and quite frankly, they can host their own parties. If I'm a kid-free home, I'm not going to go out to Costco and buy all these toys and this junk to make sure that I have a kid-safe home, etc., etc. I feel like I do not need to go into this. This is crazy ridiculous. My partner tried to convince me to make the party child-inclusive this one time, but I refused. My reasonings are, the party will obviously last past midnight, and they are kids. Our pets do not like kids, as these specific ones have no boundaries. I do not like kids. That is fair. I do not feel like being responsible if their parents decide to get drunk, of course. It's completely unnecessary and will hinder the party, as people will have to watch what they say or do in front of the kids. Okay, I can understand him being like, can we have one party where my friends can feel inclusive with their children? I can understand that, but a New Year's party, I feel like that's not where you start. I feel like there's a better holiday that you can make kid-friendly. New Year's Eve, probably not it. For those many reasons, exactly my point. His reasoning. His family feels like we push him away. He never makes an effort to see them or plan stuff with them, specifically I. Okay. The kids can sleep on the air mattress, couch, or our bed. Do I need to touch that one? I don't think I want other people's kids in my bed. His siblings think it's unfair to exclude them because of their kids. Only their kids are excluded. Only their kids are excluded? What? We should want to spend time with his siblings, I assume. Family above everything. And they think me being around kids will change my mind about having them. Ooh, I don't like that. If I don't want kids, I don't want kids. Don't push that shit in my face. You cannot push that shit on anybody, woman or man. You cannot. Especially a woman, no offense. She has to carry the thing and push it out and do. There's a lot of changes internally, even the first couple hours after having a baby. Shit is freaking wrecked, all right? And I guarantee people that are like, oh, have kids, they probably don't have the patience to handle somebody with hormonal changes. You seem to think it's all rainbows and sunshines. Oh, you'll want kids. I don't want kids, and that's okay. There's a lot going on here. That's more than just like, this isn't about parties anymore, I don't think. I'll read the last little bit, and then we'll get into it. We are on the verge of canceling the party and me co-hosting with my friend at her place, completely excluding his family, against his wishes. I also want to add that these events are planned and paid for by me. My partner agrees on the date, but the actual organization and financial aspect is taken care of by me. So I am here to ask if I'm the asshole and if you guys would understand if you were one of the parents invited. I would understand completely. But there's a lot going on here. It's not just about not having kids at your events. It sounds like it's about that you don't want to have kids. And I'm wondering, is he okay with that? You say they think me being around kids will change my mind about having them. Is your partner included in that? Because that's insane. I feel like this is a huge conversation that needs to be had, throwing the party out of the conversation. Focus on that a little later. But if we're just talking about the party situation, you are not the asshole. Everybody else is an uptight asshole, okay? If they want to have a child's party, they can fund it themselves, and they can wreck their own home doing it, okay? Number one. Number two, no, I'm pretty sure that pretty much sums it up. And really, if it's a big thing about him and his family feeling like you push them away, even though it sounds like it's not like he tries to make an effort, has to be on your dime. That's kind of insane. Despite that, if that's the case, a New Year's party is not where you start inviting kids over. That's a lot to unpack, and that's completely unfair on multiple parties, especially your wallet. You are not the asshole. Everybody else can chill the heck out. Put on their party pants elsewhere. You're not the asshole. Next. Am I the asshole for pre-gaming my wife's dinners? Immediately? Oh boy. Oh boy, we'll see. Okay. All right. My wife and I are both 32. Since we got married and moved in together 5 months ago, my wife has simply not made nearly enough food for me. I'll keep reading. This is not a kind of situation where I'm constantly getting agitated at her for incompetence or anything like that. I would be more than happy to microwave a burrito. I would be more than happy to whip up a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay, so f***ing do it. But I can't. My wife has, every single night of our marriage, done the same thing. She'll make me a tiny dinner. I'm talking like a Chinese chicken salad with 30 grams of chicken and 10 leaves of lettuce arranged fashionably with dressing. When I finish eating, I'm still hungry because for a 230-pound man who works a physical labor job, it's not enough food. So then go make that extra burrito. Go make that extra sandwich. Sounds to me like she's doing more than she should. At first, I tried to openly communicate with her, but she always took it horribly. She would adopt a 1,000-yard stare. Oh, your attitude is really irking me. And then begin talking about how incompetent she is and how she can't even make her husband a proper dinner. I try to calm her down with, oh honey, that's not the case. I just eat too much. Or don't worry about it. I can make a bit more. I try to be overwhelmingly positive. It never helped. She would always just get incredibly disappointed in herself, cry, and or take it out on me. It really just sounds like you need to change up your attitude and not expect things, right? Like she's giving you something already, so probably don't complain about it because that's more than a lot of wives would do or should do, quite frankly. Need I say more? Then she would make the same exact amount the following day. Rightfully so, sir. After the communication route failed, I tried to eat her dinner as is. It became hard to sleep at night due to hunger, and I lost 7 pounds in the first month. Where are those frozen burritos? Why can't you get off your own ass and go heat up one of those burritos? Since she already made you a dinner. Eventually, I figured out my own system. You're your own person. You have legs and hands. Wow. I started swinging by a fast food restaurant and getting myself a burger. I would basically pre-game her meals with some more calories. I figured it was a win-win as what she doesn't know can't hurt her, and I could have my fill of food. I would eat on my way home, walk in the door, pick at the salad or quinoa or homemade mac and cheese she made, compliment her for her delicious cooking, and later dispose of the wrappers discreetly. You could literally go to the grocery store and buy yourself some extra ingredients. Like, it sounds like she's still cooking for you, so. 2 days ago, I was on my way home and in line at a drive-thru. My mother-in-law was coming out of the restaurant. She ran over and greeted me. I asked her in a humorous way not to tell her daughter. where she saw me because she'd take it badly. You asked your wife's mom to lie to her daughter. Probably not. She agreed, but then she narked on me anyway. Yeah, mother-daughter relationships. Oh, God, so toxic. I got home to a furious wife who demanded details. When I provided the truth, she got extremely angry and looked legitimately hurt. I'm not good at handling confrontation. You don't say. And feel like I betrayed my wife in some way. Was I wrong here? I think, unfortunately, you're the asshole, because why are you on Reddit instead of talking to her? I'm sorry that she feels hurt that you can't get off your butt and make yourself... She's making you a meal. She's making you a meal every freaking night. God forbid it's not more. Sorry the portion sizes aren't right. Get off your butt and make yourself a snack afterwards or something. I don't know, but communicate with her. I'm not good at handling confrontation. Not even confrontation, it's just communication. It's not running to Reddit and freaking saying all this shit. My wife has simply not made nearly enough food for me. That's what you started with. You started with a huge expectation. It should not be there. It should not be there. My wife has simply not made nearly enough food for me. She's making you food. She's making you healthy food. Good old healthy food. I'm sorry it's not to your standards. Like, what? I'm not agreeing with you. I can't agree with this. I can understand tiny, tiny bits, but it's not even those tiny bits that you're putting in there. It's just me trying to put myself into your shoes and trying to be sane about it. You're the asshole. Get off your big boy ass and make yourself some food. I don't care what job you worked. Don't expect shit. Your wife sounds like a blessing, okay? Next. Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend to suffer? Immediately? No. Just kidding. Basically, my boyfriend got into an auto accident a few months ago, broke his leg. I was there in shock trauma and helped him recover in the hospital. He's been since sent home and this is hard to read, sorry. Been since sent home and put on PT, physical. He's been refusing PT. Okay, what the heck is that? Physical training? What is that? Injury, after injury, PT. Yeah, but what's it? Physical therapy. What I just said? Is that what I just said? Why did it sound weird? Anyways, okay. He's been since sent home and put on physical training. That doesn't sound right. Physical training. What am I saying wrong? I'm just gonna call it physio. Put on physio. He's been refusing physio and forgetting his follow-up appointments because he wants to get used to the pain and not rely on medicine. I've worked in healthcare for over 10 years. The doctors didn't prescribe all this medication for no reason. Well, I can understand a little bit. I can understand. The opioid crisis is a real thing. I get he doesn't want to take the oxy in fear of getting addicted. However, the doctor also prescribed gabapentin, lidocaine patches, an icy hot patch basically. He refuses to take any of that despite me telling him it will help alleviate some of the pain. He stands strong in bearing through the pain but constantly complains about the aches and pains. It gets to a point where if you refuse the doctor's advice and any advice I give you, I will get annoyed at the constant complaining. After a while of complaining and purposely missing his follow-up appointments, I had enough and told him to either shut the fuck up and suffer in silence or take the medication. Now it turned into a big argument. Am I the asshole for telling him to stop complaining to me about his pains if he's going to do nothing about it? Also, if he refuses to go to physio, I'm not sure how to help him with his home exercises for his leg recovery. There's an edit. I did mention in the comments he did cause the accident due to drunk driving. He was the only one injured, and him refusing the treatment can be a mental way of him atoning for his sins. Whoa! Okay. Where do I even start? Okay, I can understand refusing pain meds because you're afraid of getting addicted. That's a serious thing. And yes, doctors do just hand shit out. They really do. For no reason? Maybe. However, he's not doing his physio. It doesn't sound like he's doing anything at home to even stretch or do anything. So I would argue that him refusing treatment to be a mental way of him atoning for his sins. I could argue that he's just trying to be lazy. unfortunately. Because, yeah, I do agree. If you're not going to do anything about it, but constantly complain to me, I'm going to be the same way. I am going to tell you to shut the fuck up and suffer in silence. I don't think you're the asshole. However, I would definitely take a look at your relationship, because what the heck? There's some things going on with him, obviously. He caused the accident due to drunk driving. That's a whole nother thing to unpack. That's insane. Drunk driving is one of the most selfish things you could do. I hate drunk drivers. It's so idiotic and stupid and avoidable. But anyways, luckily nobody got injured by himself. That's great. You are not the asshole. He needs help. He's refusing it. And I think you should let him suffer in silence. I think you literally need to let him suffer in silence and figure it out for himself. Maybe I'm the asshole, but I don't think I am. I think he's being an asshole. He obviously has things to unpack and analyze, which he should do, but that also, to a certain extent, at this point in time, is not your problem. It becomes not your problem after a while of just complaining. So yeah, unless he's doing something for himself along with the complaining, because yeah, that I'm sure you're in pain, you're not doing anything about it. And it sounds like, honestly, you're actually deterring your future physical abilities. You know what I mean? If you don't stretch that shit, it doesn't heal correctly. Well, you're stuck on the couch for the rest of your life. Maybe that's his goal. I don't know. You're not the asshole. He needs to get off his ass and take care of himself. And that's that. Am I the asshole for deleting my son's Minecraft world? And he or she, they were already deemed the asshole. Big ol' asshole stamp. Immediately, I think it's funny. You don't mess with people's games, you know? You just don't. And if you do not take to the internet about it, because the internet will not be on your side. Whether they are in the wrong or not, you just don't mess with people's games. But let's give it a read. I have 2 children, a 9-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. My son had a Minecraft world where he built quite an impressive castle on an island, which he was very proud to show me. Yep. Yes, he's only 9, but he's proud of it. Since school was canceled, he has had issues with waking up on time. He's supposed to wake up at 7 each morning, but for the past month, he has been sleeping in until about 9 or 10. He's 9 years old. You should probably be a parent and get him up. I always set an alarm for him, but he sleeps right through it. I don't wake him up because waking himself up is a skill that he needs to learn. Again, he's 9 years old. I told him about 2 weeks ago that there are going to be consequences for him if he continues to sleep in every morning. At first he understood and was waking up on time every morning, but for the past week or so, he has fallen back into old habits. I told him yesterday that this is his final warning. Today he slept in until 11. I ain't even going to keep reading for a second. What time is he going to bed? What time are you getting your kid to bed? Because again, he's a fucking kid. He's a child. He's 9 years old. Sounds like he was feeling very pressured and started to wake up on time with his alarm. However, you are the parent. He is a child. What time are you putting your child to bed that he's sleeping until 11? He's a kid. Let's keep reading. So I followed through with my warning and went on the computer and deleted his favorite Minecraft world. Yeah, I understand the asshole stamp. I understand the frickin' asshole stamp. You're the asshole! I also took away computer privileges for the next month. When I told him, he started screaming and crying. He told me that he spent a whole year working on that world and he's very distraught and that he's never going to see it again. He has been crying and sobbing throughout the day and has refused to eat any of his meals. That's where it ends. That's just where it ends. Wow. Okay, you're the asshole. Your kid is a child, a literal child. He's 9 years old. Giving him an alarm and saying, here you go, buddy, is crazy. What time are you putting your kid to bed? Because again, he is a kid. Kids don't have the fully grown brain to where they have the responsibility gene or whatever you want to say. I'm trying to dumb it down for you, sir. He's a child. He's 9 years old. He enjoys his video games. That's his hobby. That's his enjoyment in life. As a child, that's what makes a child happy. They are not yet a grown-up, They do not have the responsibilities of a grown-up. I spent a year on this Minecraft world. And so me and my brain, my small brain, that is a lot of effort. A full year on a video game is insane. That is some serious effort. You're the asshole. What you could have done, other than be a parent and make sure he's going to bed on time, other than being a parent and getting him up yourself and getting him on this routine and sticking to the routine with him as a parent, other than that, if it's really such an issue, I can understand taking away the computer privileges for a little bit. However, deleting the whole thing, his progress from a whole year is insane. Some people are like, oh, it's just a video game. Okay, you paint? You like painting? Work on a painting for a whole year and then let somebody else smash it to pieces because they don't want to parent you, okay? But you like makeup. You like makeup? Okay. Spend a whole year's allowance on your makeup or whatever. Start collecting it for a whole year and have your parent smash it to bits and pieces, okay? Just because they don't want to parent you. Do you understand? He's 9 years old, a literal child. You're the asshole, and your kid is going to remember that for a very long time. You are a giant asshole, and I really hope that kid doesn't hold a large amount of grudge and anger. Because fuck you, sir. You're the asshole. This one already has the asshole stamp as well. Am I the asshole shitting on my girlfriend's family's floor? And if you scroll to the bottom, too long, don't read. Shitted on my girlfriend's floor and was too embarrassed to own up to it. I don't need to read it, really. I really don't, but we're gonna read it and we're gonna analyze it. Going off of that, yeah, you're the asshole. Essentially, 32 male. Yep, you're an asshole. You're 32 and you shitted on the floor. You shitted on the floor, okay. Went to my girlfriend's, 27, female, girl run, house for a date. I hadn't seen her for a while as I was working across the country on a project, so naturally I was quite excited to see her. I am very friendly with her family and was delighted to see that her father, a chef, had cooked a delicious-looking meal and I was getting reacquainted with them. As I said, I hadn't seen my girlfriend in 2 months. It was a wonderful occasion, and we were talking. I will admit I had a few drinks, and the atmosphere was pretty good, and there was great music, great vibes all around. I hear all good things. I hear, it sounds like a very fun environment, very exciting, getting the drinks flowing, fun. I don't hear nervous belly. I don't hear bad food, because Dad's a chef. I was eating from this delicious, freshly cooked banquet, and her cousins started to arrive. I was delighted to meet them. As I said, I am very good friends with the extended family, and we really started hitting it off. I had a few more drinks. You started with a few drinks, now you're having a few more drinks. The cousins only just got here, oh boy. And I will admit I was starting to feel a little bit nauseous and tired. Although I had just came off a 8-hour flight, so I chalked it down to that. I will note at this point that I suffer from IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, as if that's not a very known thing on the internet. I'm stopping you there. You're the asshole. You knowingly have IBS. You're downing these drinks. You're having all this food. You just got off a flight. And I take medication for it. You are the asshole. You already know all these things and you're like, no, let's have fun with it. You're the asshole. Let's keep reading. I feel the need to go to the bathroom to relieve myself, so I go. Oh, wow, we're a little detailed already. Oh, I sit down on the toilet, open my phone, and start browsing the internet. And I feel like this isn't an actual post. I feel like this person might have a fetish or something, like a embarrassing fetish or like a poop fetish or something, because they're like going into I don't need to know. Anyways, okay, all right, I read it, so you're gonna have to suffer with me. All right, I already read it. Okay, I sit down on the toilet, open my phone, and start browsing the internet, and I release the best part of a very large excrement. Then suddenly I lose my positioning and I slip to the side, but I regain my posture. I wipe my private area and think nothing more of it. As I mentioned, I am quite dizzy. You didn't mention that. You didn't mention you're dizzy. I wash my hands and head back out to the party. Okay, you're not just an asshole, you're an absolute idiot. What? I'm not rereading any of that, but 32 years old, you take a poo-poo, you slip on the toilet for whatever gross-ass reason. Did you flush? How do you flush? Do you just... and hope for the best? How do you not notice? How do you not notice? You idiot. This has to be rage bait or something. This has to be fake. This is insane. I don't want to be a part of a world where 32-year-old men are doing this. What? Are you kidding me right now? Everything is screaming red flag. Everything is screaming either you're an absolute moron, like no brain and no eyeballs, or this is fake. I'll keep reading. There's one more long-ass paragraph. Dare I? Oh my god, what the frick? We're talking, okay, he's out to the party. We're talking, chilling, and there is all around great vibes. I highly doubt that. When my girlfriend's cousin, let's call him Chuck, comes out to the kitchen and whispers something to my girlfriend's uncle. He walks out and I hear a loud, "What the fuck?" Yup. We all sort of walk out and I look in the door and see a disgusting... Okay, this word, when I hear this word, and I'll say it once only, when I hear this word, I think of chocolate on ice cream or caramel on ice cream or something, okay? Hear me once. I look in the door and see a disgusting drizzle of crap all around the door side of the toilet. Oh, I don't want to be thinking about it, but I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. And it looks disgusting. Yep, okay. What does that even mean? Okay, my girlfriend's father walks out and also says, "What the fuck?" And I'm nervous. I say to him, I think I saw Tucker, one of my girlfriend's other cousins, looking a bit sick. But then, just in my horrible luck, Tucker comes out and says, "What the fuck? Are you serious?" At this point, I am shitting bricks. Thankfully, not literally. No, not thankfully. It should be in your pants. You should keep it in your pants, if not the fucking toilet. Are you kidding me? Where's your diaper? Where's your diaper? I'm looking for any way out of this situation. There is like 7 to 8 people at the party, but most of them have arrived quite recently, and I'm the only one who was known to have gone to the bathroom. We're just keeping tabs. My girlfriend's mother starts crying, and I feel awful. I feel like that's not true. Basically, the whole atmosphere is ruined. My girlfriend's dad goes in to clean it up with the aid of her brother, and I walk back to the kitchen, but there's a very edgy vibe for the rest of the evening, and I feel like my girlfriend might suspect something. I hope she does. I hope she dumps your ass. I hope you're lonely. I hope you're lonely. 32-year-old man, by the way. Grown man, by the way. You're at your girlfriend's family's house. The dad is picking up your poops like you're a puppy. No, you're a grown man. You could have just, really quick, because I'm sure everyone wasn't just sitting there watching him clean it up. You could have just been real quick. Hey, man, I got that. Honestly, I'm so sorry. Even from then, they should absolutely kick you out. They should absolutely kick you out, because how do you not notice that after going poop? You're the asshole. You're disgusting. You deserve to be lonely. You're nasty. I hope your girlfriend does pick up on this and fucking leaves your ass. You knew you had IBS. You knew about all these things. You went on a flight. You did all these things. You're an asshole. You're disgusting. You're disgusting. And this better be rage bait. I feel the need to do one more, because what the... Ugh. Alright, last one. Am I the asshole for giving my daughter $60 a week, but my son nothing? I, 45 female, have 2 kids, 17 female and 15 male. We moved earlier this week to be closer to my parents, as my parents' health is declining. My daughter was excited about the move, but my son has struggled to adjust. Okay, I'm already hearing that the daughter is older and gets money, but the younger one doesn't. I'm hearing that she's having a great time, but he is not. And she's getting money. Not liking it. Okay. Due to the move, my job shifted to hybrid. I needed a work-from-home setup. My bedroom is too small, and the only options were the lounge or one of the kids' rooms during school hours. I proposed this to them. My son flat out refused. No way in hell. But my daughter offered her room and half joked about charging me rent for the space. Oh my god. Oh my god. I will just immediately say, your kids, your teenage kids, need their own rooms. They need privacy. They're teenagers. You were a teenager once, lady. They need privacy. And quite frankly, if your daughter is offering her room, that is your house. You do not pay rent. That's crazy. I feel like this is icky already. Anyways, I don't know. That's very loaded. I thought it was fair as I get a $20 a day work from home allowance. I agreed to give it to her if she was okay with me setting up a small office in her room. I work from 8:30 to 5 and she usually starts homework right after I finish, so it worked out well. Wait, $20 a day? You're giving her $20 a day? How is this $60? Oh, do you work 3 days a week? I don't know. Anyways. Oh, this is a lot. I don't know. Now the issue. My son is pissed that his sister is getting $60. I don't do regular allowances, just canteen money, about $10 a week, and other needs as they come up. I told him he had the same opportunity and was now shit out of luck. No, he was not given the same opportunity because you said you asked him. He said no. You asked your daughter. She said yes, but I'm going to charge you rent. Was not given the same opportunity. He didn't even know this was on the board. And quite frankly, it's bullshit. Your kids need their own space. Like you said, you could have done it in the lounge. Do it in the lounge. They can hang out in their rooms. They need privacy. They need their own space. And this is just making it so that it's uneven as hell. He was not given the same opportunity. He got angry and brought up the move, saying he never gets to see his friends. For the record, I drive them back to visit every 2 weeks for visits. That's not the same for a kid. That is not the same for a kid. You up and move. He's a teenager, too. He's already upset about the move. He's probably upset about his grandparents being sick. He's got a lot going on, and he's a kid. He doesn't know about he's not an adult. His brain doesn't work as an adult. What is with these parents expecting adult expectations from their kids? They're kids. I told him I understand his feelings, but said I wouldn't tolerate being spoken to like shit. He then started an argument with his sister too, going on her for being an opportunistic bitch, and she called him a whiny little asshole. Sounds like you need to fucking be there for your kids and get off Reddit. That's what I'm reading. Get the fuck off Reddit and be there for your kids, especially your son. Your son is going through it. I don't care if he's talking to you like shit. You're treating him like shit. To cool off, I offered one of them the option to stay at their grandparents for the night, not as a punishment, but to break the tension. My son opted to go, and while dropping him off, my mom told me I was favoring my daughter and should be paying them equally. My dad disagreed, saying my son had the chance and was shit out of luck. How was he given the chance? Did you say, I'm going to give you $60 a week? Is that a week? I don't know what's going on here. That's $60 a week? That's insane. There's an edit. The conversation took place over the course of the afternoon, and I didn't immediately agree to the deal with my daughter. I offered it to my son first, who reiterated hell no and get the fuck out of my room. I also should mention the reason I have the smallest room is due to the lack of insulation in the ceiling and flooring, making it damp. And as we're heading into winter, I wasn't sending either kid in there. The room also fits a single bed and a set of drawers with essentially no other space at all. We own the house in other place, and I don't have the spare cash to get it insulated at the moment or even fit any of my equipment to work from home in there. I mean, okay, I understand I understand. You need to work, you need an office space, even though you just said you could fucking do it in the only options were the lounge or one of the kids' rooms during school hours. So the option of the lounge is still there. It's still there. Your son said no because he's a boy who wants privacy. He's a teenage boy that wants privacy. He doesn't want his mommy going into his room for multiple hours a day. Okay? That is so fair. Your daughter, Your daughter is opportunistic. However, she's 17 years old, living in your house. You could be in the lounge. Your son is seeing no cash, except maybe $10 a week for allowance. You just moved him away from his friends. His grandparents are very ill. It just literally sounds like you need to get the hell off Reddit and listen to your kids. Have a talk with your kids. Spend time with your kids. See what's going on with your son. You're the asshole. You're the asshole. I would just like to add that I'm not saying that the kids need handouts of allowance of more than $10. They are teenagers. She can get a legitimate job legally. He can get a job, like, do snow shoveling, yard work, you know what I mean, for money. I'm not saying they should get handouts. However, it's, the odds are stacked against one and not the other, is all I'm saying. So the moral of the story, or the moral of all these stories, basically, pretty much what I'm getting is parents need to stay off Reddit and parent their children, actually parent them, because they're children. You're the grown-ass adult. That's what I'm getting off of this. And communication as well. Get the hell off Reddit, get off the internet, and communicate with your people. Your family members, your friends, your girlfriend's dad so he's not cleaning up your shit. Sounds like a lot of avoidable things, if you ask me. Sounds like a lot of assholes who wanted some recognition and then, oops, turns out you're the asshole. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed. I'm a little disturbed that there are so many insufferable people, but that was only so many of so many. Insane. But we're gonna do it again. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe to our cozy little corner on the internet. I'll see you guys next time.